and I am the creator and founder of the Natural Sensory Nook. We are not just any old ordinary sensory class. I am here to support families in the first 1001 days of life, and the element of play is so important to families right from the beginning. I teach families why it's important, how they can incorporate play into their everyday life, and I also teach children and parents how to take risk, overcome challenge, and how to incorporate nature and authentic materials within the play environment. So what makes me different from other sensory classes? The Natural Sensory Nook was built around the freedom of creativity, play and imagination. Babies and children are born with the ability to be able to play. This is how they observe, and it also builds those foundations so that in adult years we have learned the skills from play. The difference between any other sensory class and the Natural Sensory Nook is that we are more authentic. We use real materials within the sensory classes. We incorporate nature within our play. You can see here behind me I have what we call the Natural Nook. It's built up of all natural elements that you would find outside in the world and incorporated into play so that babies and children can play with these and explore them and accept challenge in a safe environment, so that then when they do go out in the big wide world, they'll know how to accept those new materials. So why the Natural Sensory Nook? The Natural Sensory Nook is built around the ability of babies and children being able to explore freely and use their own creativity, their own minds. So when a baby or a child is exploring a piece of material, we are not there to limit their play, to stop them from exploring this material in a certain way. We are not there to control it or show them how they should be playing, but we are merely there to journey with them. They will invite you into their play, into their world. And you, as a parent, are there to support them, to guide them, to have fun with them as well. But also, if your baby or your child starts to experiment with more risk, take on challenges, you are there to guide them and show them how they can overcome these challenges. And then when they are out in the big wide world, they'll know that they can do that safely and securely in their own minds and their own bodies, but you are still there to offer that support and that love and still feel confident in your child's abilities. So what do I mean by limiting children's play? You heard it before, and I see it a lot in my classes where parents rightly want to keep their babies safe. But by doing so, they stop their child from being able to play with certain toys because they don't feel that they are ready or that they are safe. Or maybe sometimes it's because you as a parent are not feeling confident enough to allow that play to happen and to support them in that discovery. I don't ever put something out in a 3-year-old's class that I would put out in a newborn class. Yes, there are materials that are very universal and all ages can use them. But there are some materials that a 3-year-old will use that a newborn won't use. And this is why we travel through the classes, and as they grow, these materials are introduced. But what I also do in my classes is not just allow for children to be able to play freely, but I also support and guide and build confidence in parents' ability to allow exploration to happen. And it's surprising how much we as parents limit our children's growth by stopping them from playing with something, even though they really, really want to. This bowl is a universal bowl in my classes. This is something that is out in every single class. No, not all newborns are going to play with this, but by the time they are 3-4 months old, this bowl becomes very, very interesting. But I always see it. Parents get worried about children holding these things, putting them in their mouth. And that's okay. Safety is obviously very, very important. And in my classes, it's something I hold in high regard. But it is really important to allow your babies to start taking risk. because these are the first foundations that you are laying ready for them when they are older. And by the time they are toddlers, these things can be a little harder to introduce if you haven't done so before. So when I say we work with all of the senses, I don't just mean those 5 senses. We all know the 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, hear, and touch. These senses, of course, are really important, and they're still things that we work on within the class. But we also work on 2 other areas. We have the proprioceptive area. This is about how your body moves, being aware of how your body needs to move. The fact that you have arms and that sometimes you might need to reach them up high to maneuver around the room. Or maybe it's a case of how you need to hold something in a particular way to get it to a certain place. So this is all part of the proprioceptive areas, and that is part of your senses. We also have the vestibular areas. So this is all to do with the inner ear and balance. We need these areas so that you can go out into the world, walk, run, climb trees, swing on things. All things that children love to do, and they should do. You go to the play park, or you go to a soft play, or you just go out for a really lovely walk in the woods. But either way, the vestibular area is about you and your balance and how you maneuver your body to be able to balance. So can you walk along something and balance your arms so that you can walk straight and you don't fall down? Swinging as well, being able to hold your own body weight and swing. These are all areas that we work on within these classes. It is not about being able to jump around, but it's actually all to do with the 7 senses that help us collectively build those foundations for babies and children so that when they become adults, they are well understood and they are well educated in their full body awareness. Another really great tool that I use in my classes to help build balance, awareness, and bodily awareness, so that proprioceptive and that vestibular area of play, are the physical areas. So we start to introduce these in the older classes. We have a climbing ladder, a wobble board, balance beam, stepping stones, and a swing within this studio. The ladder is usually the first challenge that I offer to toddlers and babies. If we offer opportunities and areas for them to be able to explore and grow and work on their senses, then they are less likely to do it in a more dangerous way. How to offer stability, support, guidance, but the babies and the children are doing it for themselves. So when it comes to a 1-year-old climbing a ladder, we allow the baby to do it for themselves. And I show the parents how they can support their baby in a safe way so that they don't hurt themselves. I show them how to hold their baby and how their babies need to learn how to go up the ladder, go over the ladder, and come back down. There are so many areas that I'm able to share, loads of different nooks that I hold here in the studio, and just different ways in which I can guide and help families in the element of play in their own home. And this is why I have created this channel, so that parents can learn how to guide, support, and nurture their children, but also we can build a generation of babies and children who are confident in themselves, who have a full rounded ability to be able to play and explore freely with risk, with challenge, but know that they are supported and they are guided and they can reach out for help if they need to from their mums and dads. So please keep joining me here, subscribe onto the channel, hit that little bell so that you know when I've posted a new video, and stay with me while I journey as I grow here on this channel, but also as I help you grow as parents and allow the ability to play. The Natural Sensory Nook is not just any ordinary sensory class. We are so much more than that.